And welcome back to the Crypto Hawk program. Decided to have an open show, and that's for show. We're starting a little early. That's all right. I just kind of want to get into this. What we got going on is the biggest institutions in the world. Like, today's show is going to be very interesting. If you were to look at the crypto prices, they're manipulated. The crypto prices are not going to match the news that I'm going to bring you. The news I'm going to bring you, I'm looking at the whole financial system is moving closer. They're moving to something called T+1. That means settlements occur within 1 day. When they get to that point, which is very soon, they're going to go right to crypto right after that. I don't care what the price is. This is the last of the last. All this cheap crypto like this, it ain't staying like this for long. Well, let me put it like this. I don't have a price prediction. I don't know the times and the dates. Maybe it's next year, whatever it is. Okay, I have no idea. What they're getting set up for is distributed ledger technology. All the Canton networks coming up again, Broadridge, the World Trading Centers, they're all switching over. They're getting their settlement. We got to get into this because this is huge. Okay, what we're talking about here, but first, I started early, and let's talk about the Canton prices later. Let's get into the hardcore news. My name is Crypto Hawk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. I don't know anything about crypto. I don't know anything about financial advice. Nothing at all. Don't believe anything comes out of my mouth. Chucky is running this thing. Chucky's standing here holding a knife, like looking at me. He's got to stare at me, right, during the show. Is that what we do? I guess so. We're going to get into this. Don't buy anything I tell you to buy. Don't sell anything I tell you to sell. Canton coin is going to be massive. So is Stellar. Stellar was hiding out all these years, nice and quiet. That's what Jed McCaleb does. It's all nice and quiet. Also, bam, like that. Goes from zero to hero, okay? Stuart Lavelle. Lies, more lies, and sufficient supply of drugs. Rookie numbers, Hulk, says Stephen Morris. Oh, my God. Let me go to the big deep dive there, buddy. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go. Let me check out something here. Okay, we're going straight to the money. Let's just go straight to the money. Fuck it. Right? Let's have a good time. Okay, now, right meow. Okay, here's the question that I asked Grok. Grok, let's wildly speculate. Let's say Stellar and Canton are the only crypto chosen for their use case here. Okay, what we got, here's the article right here. And it's not going to say anything about what we're talking about right now. When I deep dive something, I find out amazing shit. I find out amazing shiznit. Right here, the article, we'll go over that later. We're going to go for the dessert first, and then we're going to eat the meat and potatoes later. Let's have some wild speculative fun. Now, the title of this is these financial firms, companies in the United Kingdom, everybody. Oh, I told you already, it's happening over there first. That's where all the power in the world is, all the power. Firms actively engaged in United Kingdom T+1 on the rise. Now I'm going to summarize this for you. What we have are financial companies getting into this technology, which right now they're claiming is not crypto. So let me explain what's going on in like India or something, right? Okay. No, Iraq would be a great example of this, okay? They're getting digital, like those cards. They're getting cards in Iraq to get paid on these cards. That's digital, like a credit card's digital payments, okay? Follow me here. So in Iraq, they're getting their whole stock market system on digital, not crypto. But I want you to see what happens. Once you're already hooked up on digital, it just takes a flip to go to crypto. Get it? That's what they're doing. So in Iraq, they're doing it. So they're doing this here in the United Kingdom. They're getting everything to T+1. Okay, that's when a transaction clears. Like one day, okay? Normally it's like 2 days. If it's a weekend, it could be 3 days and shit. Okay, they're getting rid of all that shit. The United Kingdom has revealed that 83%, almost all, 83% of financial corporations are actively engaged in the United Kingdom's move to T+1. 83% of these firms are getting already, everybody, to go digital, lightning speed, but not quite crypto just yet, okay? They're not talking about crypto in this article. You wouldn't know they're talking about, they're going to go. That's the next step. They're going to get hooked up with this T+1. 83% of these firms, I'd say in about another 6 months, it should be 100%. They'll be all done. Then all of them, it just takes a second till they can get hooked up. They're almost already hooked up on crypto. This article here shows 83% of all these financial firms in the United Kingdom are going to be all hooked up with digital payments. Let me take a look here. There's a T+1 Accelerated Settlement Task Force, everybody. The AST, Accelerated Settlement Task Force. They are getting all these companies hooked up because maybe in 6 months to a year, it all runs on crypto. I don't know when, but they're going to be all hooked up soon. I'm going to guess maybe by the end of the year. Right now, they got 83%. So what do they need? Another 15, 17%. And then it'll all be done. I think it'll be done this year. I'm just guessing. I have no idea. But once they all get hooked up on this T+1, it just takes that much effort to get them all on crypto. That's it. They're almost like they're all getting set. Like you're a runner. You go up to the mark, take your mark, get set. And then they're holding right there. No one's saying go, but they're all set. That's what's happening right here. I'm trying to find, I'm not going to read the article. I'm going to save you the pain. I'm just going to summarize it. They're talking about custodians, brokerage houses. Concerns have also emerged around broker and service provider readiness. And they're saying that they're not able to support T+1 preparations today. Everybody, I want you to see this. They've got 83% in the United Kingdom of all the financial companies getting hooked up to T+1. Some of them are not able to do this. They got to get all these people onto T+1, okay? Because right after that, they slip right into crypto, okay? You've got to get all these people together. It's like an orchestra, everybody. Like I told you, somebody's a leader. There's 5 families in Europe that are running the whole entire world, okay? They're the orchestra leader, just like I've been doing with this fucking pen for 5-6 years now. 6 years, okay? Momentum is building across the market towards a T+1 ahead of all the important October 2027 deadlines. Okay, so next year they're saying this is when it has to all be done. Hey, they're working on it now. I don't go with any of these deadlines. Okay, so that's what's going on. That's what we're going to go back and talk about after this price thing, because I did start the show early. And right now it's 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific. Okay. So I want you to see what's going on in United Kingdom is all of the financial companies are all working together to try to get everybody to T+1. Because after that, everybody, it's showtime with crypto, okay? Now, we're going to get into the price speculation, and then we're going to go back to the beginning of the deep dive. Right now, we're at the middle of the deep dive. We're going to skip the beginning and start right at the middle, and we start talking about price. Here we go. Grok, let's wildly speculate. So what I did is I asked Grok, in the next 2 to 3 years, where will this Canton and Stellar be? Because in the deep dive for all of this T+1, Stellar and Canton kept coming up. Remember, we're studying the second half of the deep dive, all the fun stuff like the price. So I want you to see what I asked Grok. Grok, let's wildly speculate. Let's say Stellar and Canton are the only crypto chosen for their use case here and on any other platforms trading, like the DTCC. Let's talk full real-world use case and assume we have crypto clarity and full top use case. 2 to 3 year price prediction. Okay, stop. Why did I say 2 to 3 years? Because remember, they're still trying to get to T+1. That might take another year, okay? And then you figure, so that's 1 year, and then 2 would be then 3. So I said 2 to 3 years because maybe it only takes them 6 years to get to T+1. They're in a transition right now to get everybody to T+1. I say that takes 6 months to a year. Okay. Now add on another 1 to 2 years, because once they all get hooked up, then you got to go to crypto, and then that takes some time for the motor to get going. So we're looking at about 2 to 3 years with Canton and Stellar to get really, really expensive. Now let's take a look here. Now that I explained all that, yes, here's what Grok says. Yes, under a wildly speculative but internally consistent scenario, Grok saying this is doable. Okay, Grok saying this is internally consistent with the article that we just read and shit. Where Stellar is the public layer and Canton is the permissioned institutional layer, with its native Canton coin become the dominant or exclusive crypto rails chosen for the DTCC. Broadridge is what was talked about in the article. DTCC is talked about in the article. We didn't have time to do the deep dive, the first half. I'm just telling you the second half here. So the first half of the deep dive talks about how DTCC, Broadridge, and these other United Kingdom companies are all pushing to get T+1, okay? Then the article starts talking about all kinds of Stellar and Canton stuff. That's where I come in and say, okay, now Grok, let's talk about price. So we got full regulatory clarity. And Grok says, here's what Grok says, these networks that we just talked about could anchor the next phase of institutional securities markets. What is the next phase that's coming? Crypto, blockchain, securities markets. So right now they're on the old school, traditional finance. They're trying to go to T+1. They're not on crypto yet. They're trying to get there. That's what the first half of my show would have been, but we're going to have dessert before we have meat and potatoes, okay? This is pure scenario analysis. Now, the DTCC did announce last month that Stellar and Canton Treasury, they're going to have tokenization. We know tokenization. Okay, look, let's just cut the dumb shit, okay? This whole fucking stock market shit is going to be tokenization and crypto. That's what it's all moving to. Tokenization of the entire crypto stock market, bond, derivatives, everything, all the money, property, everything is going to be tokenized. That's where all this goes. That's what Grok is saying right here. This is the next step, the next phase of institutional securities markets. The next phase is tokenization with Stellar and DTCC Canton running the show. That's what Grok has no problem with that at all. The hybrid model assumption. Let me check this. Canton is a privacy-enabled, interoperable layer 1, purpose-built for financial markets, powered by digital assets, DAML, D-A-M-L. It's a smart contract language. Canton has a global synchronizer. It handles complex, high-privacy institutional workflows and a whole lot of shit. Stellar is the public distribution liquidity layer, has fast, low-cost issuance and transfer of tokenized assets. Notice how we're not talking about Ethereum here, right? Or Bitcoin, right? Oh, shit, you're right, Crypto Hulk. As we get closer to the real world use case, what do they choose? Well, they choose Stellar to run on. And this for smart contracts, DAML, D-A-M-L. That's the smart contracts. Okay. I don't see Vitalik Buterin in this picture at all. I don't see Charles Hoskins in this picture at all. I don't see Tron in this picture at all. Stellar serves the public distribution and liquidity layer. Stellar is fast with low cost issuance and transfer of tokenized assets. You're going to have treasuries, equities, ETFs from DTCC custody. Oh my God, this is good. Why these two win exclusively in the speculating. Now, I'm speculating, and Grok is going to tell us, not me, Grok is going to tell us why these two win, okay? Not my opinion. Here we go. Canton's privacy plus institutional design and builder-heavy incentives align perfectly with banks, CSDs, and prime dealers needing controlled environments. Stellar's speed, cost, compliance features, and existing DTCC integration, oh man, make it the natural public extension for distribution and liquidity without compromising core custody settlement safeguards. T+1 rewards exactly this combination. Canton for internal efficiency and risk reduction. Stellar for scalable access and velocity. Sure hope you're taking notes, students. 2 to 3 year, Grok says 2 to 3 years. Let's see here. With regulatory clarity and da-da-da-da-da. Now, check this out. The DTCC custodied assets tokenized and live on Stellar when? January, February, or March of next year. This is all starting to go crypto next year, okay? They're going to put tokenized, custodied assets tokenized on live Stellar. First half of 2027, everybody, get ready. And it's going to be scaled, by 2028 to 2029 means fully operational, able to handle the whole world, okay? All the world's money. It's going to have real time, exactly. Okay, tier one banks, tier one banks and securities lenders execute atomic delivery versus payment and payment versus payment transactions with tokenized securities and digital cash on Canton coin rails. Oh, I love this. Starting to get a little chubby in mi pantalones, amigos. Comprende me? Broader impact, multi-trillion-dollar daily notional gain. Oh, man. Oh, listen here. T+1. Let me do a copy-paste. So I want to show you. We're not going to go over, I think, the first half of this. Let's just stick to this part because it's a long deep dive talking about the money. Talking about the money. Okay, let's look at the T+1. What they're trying to do now, the United Kingdom, is get the T+1. Now, what does Grok say? Here's what I just did, a copy-paste. T+1 becomes a what? A stepping stone to more advanced settlement. Oh, I like that. So they're going to get to T1, just like I said, and then it's just a quick step to crypto, and we're all rich. Okay, they're getting it all set up right now, everybody. T+1 becomes a stepping stone to more advanced settlement. Oh, nice. Alrighty then. You got Jed McCaleb leading Stellar, along with Danelle Dixon. She has a lawyer background, by the way. Now, digital asset. Canton Network was founded by Digital Asset. The gentleman's name is Yuval Rooz, R-O-O-Z. Talks a little bit about the Canton coin. Talks a little bit about DTCC integration with both of these. Broadridge integration, processing hundreds of billions daily on Canton with JP Morgan coin integration, primary dealers, HSBC pilots. HSBC is one of the biggest banks in the world. They did pilots on Canton. You got Euroclear and Clearstream involved in this. Oh my God. Doesn't get any bigger than this, kids. This is the biggest it gets. The partnerships and collaborations. You got the DTCC just joined Stellar. They made that announcement. And again, the first half of 2027, that DTC shit is going right on top of Stellar blockchain. Oh, nice. Keep going, Crypto Hulk. Okay. Now, we're going to assume a 2 to 3 year price speculation here. We're going to assume we have full regulatory clarity. The DTCC is integrated with Stellar, and it's live, and it's scaled, and it's up and running super fast. 20 miles an hour it's running, okay? You got hybrid interoperability. Stellar and Canton capture a dominant share of all of this, we're assuming. Remember, we're speculating. No need to get your undies in a bunch. You have real economic activity. This fucking thing is running at full speed, okay? Now, Stellar. Grok gives us a price prediction for Stellar. It could be $15+ for Stellar. That's highly ambitious, Grok says. It requires exceptional execution, tokenomics enhancements. Now, Canton coin, so that's with Stellar. Now, you got a low, medium, and a high, okay? Low speculation is $2.50. Medium is $6, and the high bull case extreme $15+. It could be up to 23. Okay, so that's with Stellar. Now, what gets interesting with Canton coin, Grok wouldn't give this to me until I pushed him and pushed him. Like, I had to make 2 search things. Finally, Grok's like, okay, I'll give you a Canton. But Grok wasn't given the Canton price. So I did this deep dive here. Grok says Canton becomes the go-to permission layer for institutional security. It could see substantial multiplies from synchronizer fees and incentives, potentially higher percentage gains than XLM in extreme adoption, but you're going to have a lower liquidity with Canton coin, it says. So right around 2028, 2029. I mean, this all could take off. Grok can't predict, so we're just having fun, okay? Please don't get all, Crypto Hawk, what do I need to do? You don't need to do shit. Just shut your mouth. We're having some fun. That's all you got to do. Let's see. Now, the company called Broadridge successfully moved their DLR platform. I think they left R3 Corda and they went to Canton, okay? It says here, Stellar and Canton form a powerful complementary stack. They work together. It's a powerful stack. And so here's what I said to Grok. So you broke down the Stellar price predictions, but you didn't show me Canton coin. So now I asked him a second time for Canton. Let me look through here. Here is the focused breakdown for Canton coin. This is a pure scenario analysis, not financial advice, Grok says. Canton is a permissioned privacy. It handles the complex high privacy institutional core. Canton pays for synchronization traffic and fees and incentives. The synchronizer fees are from high value institutional flows. Maybe like you could call them gas fees, like toll gate charges. Incentives for application builders and developers. Remember now, Canton XDC burns up 10% of their fees and gives these coins back to the fat whales, which dump on you and me. Canton coin burns up 90% and gives only 10% to the developer, okay, the whales. Both XDC and Canton, they can keep creating them, okay? But it's only so fast. So there can only be so many. I mean, they could probably create a gajillion, but you can only run so many at a time. So that's why, and the good part with XDC, it only can go like 2,000 transactions a second or whatever, 1,000 or so. Even if XDC had 3 gazillion cryptos, you can only run so many at a time. So that kind of keeps the price. The price of XDC has to be at a certain amount. You can't dilute the price because when it's running, it can only move so many. It can only process so many coins at one time. So anyhow, enough of that. Let's look here. This creates recurring real utility demand tied directly to on-chain economic activity. Not just asset transfers, but complex. So the Canton coin has to be at a certain price for it to work, okay? And the more trading it's doing, the more that price goes up to like $75 or more. But let's continue here. So they're showing the partnerships here. This one, Grok is still not telling me what the price is for these. It's showing the partnerships again, DTCC, Canton, JP Morgan, 2 to 3 year price speculation. Value on Canton, here we go. Value is earned via utility, okay? So the price depends heavily on Canton coin. The price depends heavily on actual on-chain economic volume outpacing controlled supply issuance. So Canton, the value of it, like you and me can buy up to all the Canton coins, it's not going to really bump the price up. Canton is when it's used. See what I mean? It's different. It's not a pump dump shit. You can buy it and pump it and dump. It's not going to do shit. It gets valuable when this motherfucking thing gets going and you got $4.7 quadrillion a year flowing through this thing. Oh man, that's when this sucker goes to like $75 or more. It could be more, like 100. Who knows? But let's continue. Hybrid model assumes seamless bridges to Stellar. Success here amplifies Canton coin's role in private layer coordination. They work together. Stellar needs Canton. Canton needs Stellar. Okay. The more one of them goes up, the other one goes up. Okay. It's all about use case. Got it? Got it. Got it. Hypothetical scenario. Token sees steady demand from builders and infrastructure providers. Talks about a base bull case and then a wild extreme. And again, Grok's not showing us the price. So demand for the token has to significantly outpace the supply. That's when, okay, it's the use case. They're going to have to use this coin, and it's going to get pretty good when it gets busy. The more the more tokens that go on top of the Stellar blockchain, the more that's tokenized in the world, the more that's traded, the more that's tokenized gets put on the Stellar blockchain, which causes the value to go up. It's not you and me buying Stellar that's going to make Stellar go up. It's with real world use case. And when I'm talking about Stellar going from 20 cents to $1, that's just not important. Like with use case, Stellar starts hitting 10, 20, 30, 50, $100. It's with real world use case. That's what we need. None of this little Stellar went up 100%. So fucking what? Okay, so that'd be 40 cents. Stellar goes from 20 to 40 cents. Oh, went up 100%, Crypto Hulk. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. It's it. Stellar's at 40 cents. Big fucking deal. We need real world use case. That's what my channel focuses on. Real world use case. Red flags. Okay, again, Grok didn't give me the price of Canton coin. So now I'm asking the third time. Let me read this to you. Why are you not showing me the price of Canton coin like I asked? You broke down the low, medium, and high price of Stellar, Do the same for Canton coins. Now it's my third time. I don't know why this fucking Grok wasn't giving me this answer, okay? So Grok says, I apologize for the earlier response being more qualitative than the explicit numeral ranges I gave for Stellar. Canton is an early stage. Wow. So he had really no excuse to do that. He just fucking did it. Grok has to tell me again that this is not financial. No shit, Sherlock. I'm like, wow, this AI needs a fucking beating. Man can beat some sense into it. Canton network with layer 1 DAML smart contracts. Okay, we know this. High flow. It's going to have high flow, builders incentives. Heavy rewards for builders and developers. The leadership. Here he goes again, telling me all the same shit. Okay, now we finally get into the fucking money. Okay. Speculative 2 to 3 year price range. On the low end is $3. This is for Canton, low end, $3. Has partial scaling of Canton, limited public liquidity. Now, let's go right to the medium case, $20. Canton becomes a core permissioned layer, scaled atomic repo, securities lending, builder heavy tokenomics, hybrid interoperability with Stellar working together. Okay, now the high price Canton coin achieves near standard status. So Canton coin becomes the standard for the world for what it does, okay? It doesn't become the best coin in the world. It becomes the best coin in the world at what it does. You get it? Okay? So for this to hit 75, like $100 or whatever it is, like $100, Canton has to be the standard for global trade, okay? And if that is the standard one that's going to be used, then Grok is saying you can see 75 to $100, okay? But it's got to be the standard use. Right now, I don't see any competition, so it's looking pretty good the next 2 to 3 years. I would just say not using hype. Far be it from me to hype anything, but I could see, it says here 75 plus. I could see $100 for Canton if it becomes the near standard status for what? Regulated tokenized security workflows like the DTCC, banks, prime dealers. If everybody in the world agrees that Canton coin is the best, yes, it's going to have some competition and stuff. But if really 90% or whatever of all these banks and people agree Canton coin, that shit could hit $100. Okay. And Grok's like $75 plus. I don't know what the top end is. Okay. I have no idea. Remember, we're speculating. It could be 200, 300. I have no idea. Okay. But the Canton coin has to be the global standard. Okay. The Canton network. So, alrighty then. You got to have massive volumes in atomic settlement on the Canton layer. All right. Now, here's what Grok says. This $75 Canton, this represent an ambitious but internally consistent outcome. So Grok's like, this could actually work, okay? So just letting you know. Now, if Canton captures a dominant share of the complex private workflows. So Grok is saying this is internally consistent. Like, this is nothing crazy, Grok is saying right here. Now, Grok says these numbers are speculative, so you guys got to understand that Grok's just, on the back of a napkin, writing on a napkin, doing some napkin math, as they call it. Grok says actual results could be lower or higher. It just depends. Grok doesn't want to tell you, but he's just saying it could be lower or higher than what we have. And Canton coin has clear potential for substantial value accrual in the private institutional layer of the hybrid Stellar Canton model. They're working together, okay? Grok saying the relative upside in a strong scenario could be significant. Okay, now we're done with all the price stuff and all that stuff you wanted to hear about money. How much money? Let me check some comments. Now I'm going to do the first half, all the boring shit that you don't want to know, but you should to understand how do we get to a $75 Canton and a $15 to $23 XLM. I'm going to show you, after I look at some comments here, now I'm going to show you how do we get to that point. How do we get to the next stepping stone, okay, which is T+1. We got to get to T+1. We're going to talk about that here in just about 2 minutes. David Markalik says, I've got a decent amount of Canton at 6 cents because Hulk's the GOAT. We got Timbo here. Late fee for Chucky. Hey, Chucky, I got your drug money right here. Looks like Timbo gave you $20. You can call your girlfriend up and get some methamphetamine over here. Robert Driscoll says, I enjoyed dessert first, Hulk. Okay. David Markalik says, Canton, Zebek, Telcoin, and WeCan loaded up. All right. All right, now somebody here, bro, I was going to dump all my XLM, and the next day, XLM news came out. Good thing I did not sell. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty good. You'd feel like a... Okay, so let's go to the deep dive here. Okay, we're going to talk about the United Kingdom's T+1. We all had dessert, so now it's time to eat the meat and potatoes, okay? Steak and potatoes. I like the prime rib skirt. Let's go here. The June article, the UK T+1 on the rise. Key findings include 87% of firms are now actively engaged in getting T+1. 90%, oh, damn, listen to this. 90% of the firms are going to have it done by the end of 2026. 90%, because remember, all this shit takes place sometime in the first half. Stellar and Canton, like Batman and Robin, peanut butter and jelly, shit like that. Canton and Stellar are going to get put into the DTCC to control $4.7 quadrillion a year. This all starts January, February, March, April, May, or June of 2027. That means all this T+1, 90% of them will be done by the end. That leaves 10% of these fuckers in the United Kingdom need to get their asses moving. Righty. Let me check here. 78% of the financial market expect to be ready for testing. Oh, shit. Q1 2027. Oh, damn. January, February, or March, they're going to start testing all this with Stellar and Canton. Oh, my God. 78% are going to be ready. 80% are going to be ready. Well, they already said, Grok already said 90% of these little fuckers. So whatever it is, it looks to me, January, February, or March of 2027, Stellar and Canton starts go up. Now, the reason they're going to T+1 is the need for broader buy-side progress to ensure a smooth settlement chain. The reason they got to go to T+1 is because eventually they're going to go all on-chain, and it's going to be fast, lightning fast, 2 to 5 second transfers, okay? Now, DLT enables atomic settlement, real-time data, and all that. They're using the old school. It used to be T+3, T+2. Now they're working on T+1. The next step would be full blockchain, okay? That's where this all ends up. And that's going to start January, February, March of 2027. They're going to be all T+1. And guess what? They just take one step, bam, they're on blockchain. January, February, March 2027. That's the next step, folks. May 27th, 2026, the DTCC announced the Stellar Public Blockchain Partnership right there. That is, oh my God, this is massive, everybody. Whew, better grab your Stellar if you can. Now, all of a sudden, that news, see, Stellar seemed like a dud for all these years. Now this news comes out, all of a sudden Stellar is going to be running the world. All the value in the world is going to go on the Stellar blockchain. Oh, shit. That's going to be massive. But guess what they're not saying? Is that underneath Stellar, you know what blockchain you got? Okay, underneath Stellar, somebody answer the question, what blockchain is underneath Stellar? All the way down at the bottom, at the base. Somebody tell me what it is. We got YSN. I'm getting loaded. I also bought some crypto. Well, after the show, I'm going to get loaded. But I've got to work on tomorrow morning show. Then I can get loaded. L Jr. Chucky wants to know, when is he going to get his cut of all this money? Don't say that too loud. That little bastard, I think, might have heard that one. XRP is the answer. Not Maxine Waters. Come on. Let's get loaded. All right. So, okay. Let me continue reading here. So, it's going to be Stellar. ISLA. All these companies are going to get into this platform. Stellar and Canton are going to just go nutso. Broadridge, DTDC, let's see, company history. Broadridge has deep roots in all of this. So again, now we're talking about who are these big companies? You got the DTCC, Broadridge is going to be involved in this. All the United Kingdom trading, everybody, is what's happening. They're all getting hooked up with crypto. Not now, but they're doing this T+1 thing. Then right after that, it's crypto. Whenever they need to flip a switch, they'll be into crypto in like a week. They can all hook up in like a day or a week or some shit like that. They just got to get them to T+1 first. Everybody's got to be at T+1. You got to get everybody on the starting line. You can't launch crypto now. These places won't be able to use it. It's not worth it. You got to get everybody up to the starting line. Like everybody, Broadridge, get up here. Get on the starting line. Okay, now everybody's on the starting line. We're at T+1. All I got to do is say ready, set, go. And they can be hooked up with crypto in like 24 hours, ready to go on blockchain. Alrighty then. So you got Broadridge, JP Morgan's mixed in this, DRW, Societe Generale, UBS Bank, ISA, ISSA, AFME, ICA, all these companies, they're all going T+1. All of United Kingdom, everybody. Preferably before the end of the year, because January, February, March, that's when they start rolling out this Canton stellar test. And they're starting to run all the cryptos. It's all in a test phase, but they're starting right in there, January, February, March. Now, interoperability remains a work in progress. Right now, there's regulatory uncertainties. Now, right now, there's also uneven adoption. So some agencies have this T+1, others, they're not ready. So we got to get, it's not an even adoption. We got to get everybody even. So I asked Grok this. So is this move to T+1 a step closer to using blockchain one day? And Grok says, yes. The move to T+1 is a meaningful, practical step that strengthens the case for broader distributed ledger technology and blockchain adoption in settlement securities and finance. So this is an incremental catalyst rather than a sudden leap to a full-on chain. So they're going to go from like old school to on this stepping stone called T+1, because once you're on that stepping stone, all you got to do is maybe take 24 hours and you're all hooked up with crypto right there. What they're doing with this T+1 is that they're forcing the market to confront the operational limits of legacy post-trade systems. They're trying to show people this whole old school system, it's not good anymore. It's wrecked. They're trying to get all these banks and everybody to see we can't do this old school system anymore. That's what they're trying to show. Now, T+1, like I said, does not require blockchain, but T+1 makes non-DLT solutions more expensive and risky to maintain. What they're going to see is once they get to T+1, it's like looking out over the promised land, right? But you got to walk down into the promised land. But this one doesn't take a long time. It could be like a 24-hour trip to the promised land, okay? Now, in parallel, here's what they're saying. In parallel, that means at the same time, this is going on. At the same time, major institutions are already building crypto solutions that go beyond T+1. Everybody, they're working on T+1 for the old system, but they already have a crypto that's running right alongside of them, parallel, right alongside. They already have it. Now, Broadridge is already running on Canton. Listen to this. First mover advantage. Remember what I said? Nobody wants to go first because they're afraid, but nobody wants to be last. Now, listen, what do you think's going to happen? Listen to this. Broadridge already has a platform. It's called the Distributed Ledger Repo. It's a platform, and it has seen explosive volume growth this year in 2026. Hundreds of billions of dollars a day in repo averages with triple-digit year-over-year increases running on the Canton network. It enables Broadridge's platform, enables tokenized repo and securities financing transactions with atomic settlement. Now, let me tell you something. Broadridge is making millions and billions. You don't think the competition is going to want in on that? Of course they will. Broadridge, instant transactions, bam, running billions a day through their system, and they get a chunk of every single trade. You know what's going to happen? Everybody's going to want to get on that Canton Stellar platform so they can make that money too. It's faster, it's cheaper, and you make way more money. And it's safer. Now, the DTCC said last month in May 2026, listen to this, it plans to connect the DTCC tokenization to Stellar first half of 2027. Oh my God, that's fucking crazy. They're gonna connect their tokenization. How much business goes on the DTCC Crypto Hulk per year? Only like 4.7 quadrillion bucks a year. All that's going to go on the Stellar platform. Oh my God, Stellar's going to go cray cray. So you already have, this is massive. How much time do we got? 4 minutes. Oh, shit. Okay, let me wrap this up super quick. Okay, let me look here. Broadridge. Realistic timeline. Okay, so that's the whole deep dive. That's the first half. And then we got into the price earlier. So what we did is we first went over the price. And now we just talked about T+1 happening probably by January 1st. And that's when the Stellar implementation comes in. And DTCC dumps $4.7 quadrillion onto Stellar. Now, I don't think they'll do it all at once, because I think they're going to have some kind of a test thing or whatever, but they could. And that's Stellar. You see, that's how the flip of the switch could happen with Stellar and Canton. Now I'm going to say, I don't know. If they dump that 4.7 quadrillion in, oh, man. That Canton coin goes from what, 14 cents to $14, $20? I don't know. I don't know where it goes. $75? I have no idea. $200? I have no idea. And then Stellar is going to be like what they say, $23 or $30 or something. So you got me. But if you watch my Crypto Hulk program, I'm going to show you what the biggest corporations, entities are doing. I'm going to show you what cryptos they're using. You just got to make a decision. Do you want in or do you want to stay a brokey? That's up to you. Let me see here. YSN, thank you very much for that. All this talk of Stella now, I'm going to have to watch A Streetcar Named Desire. Stella. Yeah, you should play that one. Let me see if I can. Let me go on YouTube and see if I can find that one. Marlon. Yep, here it is. So here's, hey, Stella. Okay, so I went through community college in 1990, and I took a class called Sex Roles in the Cinema. Unfortunately, they didn't show pornographic stuff, but they did show this movie here. I'm a dark pool expert. There is an institutional selling at 17 cents for Canton. Thank you very much. So if you want to watch where we get Stella, here it is right here. So that's where we get that at. Some of you guys are younger and you don't know about Marlon Brando and Stella, but there's a link right there if you want to watch it. It's only like about 30 seconds to a minute, and that's where I sometimes you hear me saying Stella. That's where I get that from. All right, well, the show's over and I got to go. Now you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here because I got to turn the show off. But I will see you in the next one. I'm going to work on a show for tomorrow morning. I got two deep dives I could do. I'm going to I'll have a show for tomorrow, and that's for show. I'll see y'all.